Hi again, everybody. My name is Greg Anderson, and this is the Good Timekeeping Show with Greg Anderson. Some people have requested, so I've decided to do this again and show you my collection of watches, all of them as they stand right now. This is the middle of the year 2022. So, I'm not trying to brag or put anybody down. I'm just going to show you what I have. And if you get some ideas about this and you want to maybe look for similar kind of watches yourself, that's all this is for. I hope that you enjoy your watch collection too. All right, some of these watches come from the deep archives. This is, just like my first watch that was all mine. This is not the same exact watch, but it's just like it that I had in the 1970s. Then this was my first, what we called a waterproof watch. This is the actual watch I had back in grade school in the 1970s. Doesn't work quite right anymore, so it's not wound up here at the moment. This one is very close to being the same as the first digital watch I ever had from National Semiconductor. The one I had was kind of gold tone and brown, but otherwise this one is the same thing. So I found this on eBay a little while ago because the one I had, my first digital watch, the real one, was lost a long time ago. Now the rest of these are the real deal. This is the watch I got in the early 1980s, still running from Seiko. This is my first Casio watch that I bought in Bolivia in 1985. Got this one in the late 1980s when I was in college, and this one also from, I think this was Christmas of 1990 when I got this guy here, and this one would have been, maybe about a year later or so. I like that analog with the LCD layer on top of it. This is my first electroluminescent backlight Casio. It used to have some writing up here and down there that got rubbed off. But this is my first radio-controlled watch, Archron Sight, a company I'd never heard of. Hey, but it worked, and it's still working. And then this Casio over here did exactly the same things as this Archron Sight watch, only with a different display. So I got this from Casio, and this one was from Lacrosse Technology, another radio-controlled watch. So these are my first, if you want to call them, atomic watches that I ever had. Now, from this point, I'm not going to put the collection in a chronological order, but kind of grouped things together by, just styles and functions. So here are a couple of watches I just recently got a few months ago, a couple of Casios, just variations on the same watch with different colors. You can find these at Walmart for relatively cheap. These are a couple of Wave Ceptor watches, also radio controlled here. And basically you have the resin and kind of a metal watch bracelet version of what is essentially the same watch. Down here, watches that do the same as those. Again, Wave Ceptor radio controlled watches. As you can see, the display is basically identical on these. This one here with a bracelet, this one with a resin band, and this one is a little bit of an updated module, even though it looks the same. Here's a talking radio-controlled watch, and I like that one too. Here are a couple of analog Casio watches, fully analog. You see even the date is the day and day of the week and the date. Those are all analog. And then here's a couple of super illuminator watches where the day and the date windows are just like that, as you can see. So they're the same watch, and I put a metal bracelet on one of them. Now let's start looking at some G-Shocks here. Here's the GW6900 that people like so well, and I bought 3 of them and played with them a little bit. I put a bracelet on this one, third-party, inexpensive Chinese bracelet on that one. This one I bought a metal kit to replace the bezel and the bracelet with metal there, and this one I bought from Pack Parts. Love the sea and the earth bezel and watch band for that one. Then we get into the G-Shock Square. So here's your basic G-Shock Square with Multiband 6 and tough solar. It's the GWM5610 that everyone likes so well. Some people don't like the red stripe, so this one you can usually get this for a good deal. I put, again, a cheap Chinese bracelet on that guy, and then I bought another one and I put this jelly bracelet bezel combination on this one just for the fun of it. Then I found some variations out of Japan. Here's a nice blue one. This one, orange stuff on there. This one came with a bracelet, but I replaced the bracelet with kind of a strap there with the J's and K's adapters. And then I took the bracelet off this one and put it on there just for the fun of it. So, just having some fun when you can customize your squares a little bit. Here's the one with the Orca theme. Again, a Love the Sea and the Earth G-Shock square from just a couple of years ago. And I bought a second one just because. Right here, one that everybody seems to like really well, the Japanese version without a lot of color there. And it has a screw down, nice tough metal case back, and also a full metal case underneath this resin bezel here. Then I got a couple of these. This is the carbon fiber one. So there's a carbon fiber watch band and bezel on this. So this is the older module. Then this is the new updated U module there. And then this right here is kind of an oversized case, but it's the same basic module as this one here. This is an updated module for the NASA tribute watch for the year 2022, and then there's a blank space there because something's coming. Then I did get the full metal G-Shock square. This is not an aftermarket kit. It came from Casio just like this. So it's a metal square with Bluetooth and tough solar and multiband 6. And then here's one that does all the same things with Bluetooth, but it just has the resin pieces, and this came with this resin combi or composite bracelet. So here's the same module in a different color with Bluetooth. This one also, I really liked the coloring on this one. So this came with a resin watch band. And what I did is I bought a bracelet to match this bracelet, put it on there. And this is, again, a favorite of mine now with the colors and the bracelet. This one, I did find a good deal on one with a negative display, another Bluetooth square. Then the ever popular Rangeman with the triple sensor, that gives you the altimeter and barometer and thermometer and compass. And it's a big, tough watch. Everybody likes it. Speaking of big, tough watches, how about the G-Shock King that everyone likes so well? And I bought a second one and put an aftermarket third-party metal kit on there for a bracelet and a bezel on the G-Shock King. Here are some analog G-Shocks that I like really well. Most of these variations on the AWG M100. So here are some different color combinations. I got one of these, and then I put a bracelet on this other one. Here's some with the negative display on the little LCD windows. Again, here's one with a duplicate I got to put a bracelet on. This one I put a bracelet on. This is kind of the basic one that you can get for a good deal. Then here's one with a negative display. Here's a couple of ones that were once part of a G-Shock fire package deal a few years ago. Then these have kind of unique multicolored watch band. Here's one from a fire package recently. This one, Adrenaline Red, and this one is one with a very dark color scheme overall, but positive display on those LCDs. Then here's one from a recent fire package, and I put a bracelet on here because it originally came with a resin watch band. Now then, I got the GAW100, so just kind of a bigger version of these other ones. Does all the same things, except this has a little bit better backlight for those, and it's overall bigger. So I got that one, and then this one also operates the same as these others. It's a G steel watch, so it came with the metal pieces already on it. Then here's some variations on the GW2310 and 2320. So here's one from a fire package to match that. And here's kind of the more basic one that you can find for a better price. And here's one from a more recent fire package as well. So I liked them. So I kind of decided I wanted to have some fun with some different color variations. Now here's a fun little box of variations on the GWM500 and GWM530. And I just had a lot of fun finding deals on these. So I managed to get, a few spare versions of it. Kind of a fun variety of watches in this box here. This is a Gravity Master watch, and it synchronizes itself to the right time using a Bluetooth connection and an app on the phone. And I liked it so well, I bought the other color version of this. But then this one here is a ProTrek. In fact, these are my 3 ProTrek watches that I have right now. Each of them with the triple sensor for, barometer, thermometer, compass. And they also give you the altitude using the barometer. So, these two are very similar with the analog displays there and a digital window. This one is fully digital with a titanium bracelet on there. This one also titanium bracelet on that guy there. So then I got a couple Forester watches, just little small, inexpensive watches. They were kind of on clearance. I got a good deal on those, and those are just fun to have. This is a non-ProTrek with the triple sensor still in it. So, barometer, thermometer, and compass on that guy there too. Then I got a bunch of wave Ceptors. These two from kind of the American offerings here. This is a little bit older one, different module. But then the newer module that this one has is shared by some of these others that I got from the Japanese market. So just some variations. Some of these with stainless steel, some have some titanium bits. I like that kind of has the canvas watch band on that guy there. Just a few different colors and styles with those guys. And that's a unique color there. I kind of like that one there. Now, the same module is used in some Lineage series watches, so I owe it to myself to step up to the Lineage watches, which are made with a little bit higher quality materials like the crystal and the watch bracelets and the cases and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens about that. But I really like this style. Had some fun with those. Then this guy here, it's got stuff I like on it, like, Tough Solar Multiband 6, a little tide readout there to show you the tide. And it's a little bit different, but in so many ways the same as this Gulfman over here. So, I keep the two of those together, and they're kind of fun to have. Then I got some Edifice watches here. These two use Bluetooth to synchronize to the right time using an app. And it's kind of fun there. They're the same model, just with some different color variations. This one is just a nice, fun Edifice watch with a sapphire crystal and a nice, good, solid watch, but it doesn't have Multiband 6. It is Tough Solar, though, so I've enjoyed this one here. And it reminds me of a watch that my dad had when I was growing up, when I was just a little kid. It has the same basic color scheme, and it's kind of fun to have the stopwatch built in, like my dad's watch had a little kind of a stopwatch thing in it, his Seiko watch from way back when. Now, I think all the watches I've shown you so far are very affordable at very reasonable prices compared to especially some of the other watches you'll see on different watch channels on YouTube. But this box here is especially affordable. Here are a couple of variations on what they call the Casio Royale. And then here's very similar with kind of a rounded module. This one here also very similar, but just again, a little bit of an updated module on this guy here. These are a couple of watches you can get for relatively cheap all over the place. They have a vibration alarm, each of them do, instead of, one that beeps. Or, you could have it beep or have a little vibration alarm. Your choice on those watches. Then you got a couple heavy-duty watches here. Again, similar to that Casio Royale watch, but it doesn't have the world map on it. Then some very affordable. You could use these as beater watches. Large analog with the date window, 3-hand analog, just nice, simple watches that won't cost you too much. And then a smaller version of the same thing there. There are a lot of different color variations on those guys. Then, of course, I got a couple of versions of the Casio Duro. I owe it to myself to get some of the newer versions that are out there, but I got these a while ago, and I found a bracelet made by Casio that would fit on that guy. So I replaced, the resin watch band that was on there with a metal bracelet. Here are a couple of lightweight resin watches that have the 3-hand analog and a little date window on each of these guys. And both of these are solar powered, so I can have some fun with that. These two here, also the diver style watches that don't have rotating bezels, but they do have 3-hand analog, the day and date window, and these are both solar powered. And this guy here, again, I put a Duro style watch bracelet on there to replace the original bracelet that was on this guy. These are heavy duty watches, relatively small, and some fun colors. Again, 3-hand analog with a date window, very affordable, and you can find these. Some of them you can find at Walmart. Some of the other colors you might have to go online to find those variations. And then down here, this is not an original 1970s digital watch, but it sure reminds me of them. People used to have to press the button in order to see the time, and it would just light up the LEDs just for, a few seconds. And that's how people enjoyed the first digital watches that became cheap and popular among kids in the late 1970s. So this is kind of a throwback to that. It's kind of fun, and I found it for dirt cheap at Walmart a little while ago. So retro 70s style digital watch. Check it out. And the rest of these watches are kind of just for fun. I was able to find these watches for relatively cheap at places like Walmart or also online. Very similar, very simple, great beater watches, if you will. They were just so much fun with all the different colors that I could not resist. And of course, this one here, look at all the different colors. It's like a candy store or something with all these different flavors of essentially the same watch there. Then, of course, I had to get myself a calculator watch, and eventually I decided, hey, this one only costs a little bit more. How is this one different? So I got this one, and I owe you a full review of this calculator watch. I'll get that up here soon enough that you can watch that on the Good Timekeeping show. But it's kind of fun to have now two different versions of Casio calculator watches. Then this is my very first G-Shock I ever bought, and my very first tough solar watch I ever bought. This is the MTG 900, and it's been running for 16 years without ever having to change the battery, and it looks like it's gotten a little bit of a beating over all the years. I've seen other guys that have this same watch that it looks even more beat up than this. But have no fear, because I got two spare ones. This is an updated version here. And, these are in pristine condition. So one of these days I'll start wearing these too. And then this is a dark version, same exact watch, except everything's dark on it. So that's kind of fun to have that one there. Needless to say, I got a good deal on all of these watches. So I'm not a wealthy person. I just got good deals on watches, and I decided I wanted to, grab some of these when I had the chance. Like this one here. This is another one I got from Walmart on clearance, and this guy was $22, so I couldn't resist getting even another spare one of these just for the fun of it. And then these guys here, not quite as affordable and cheap as the others, but when it comes to the Casio Oceanus line of watches, these I did pretty well on the price on these guys. So for under $400 each, I was able to get this one, and not bad there. Very simple 3-hand analog with a date window, but it's a tough movement. It is radio controlled, and this one also has the solar power. So it's a really nice watch, and it's got titanium on it. It's just really in really good condition, and I got a good deal on this one, even though this one was used. I got this one new, and I owe you a full review of this one here. There are a couple versions of this one out there with different colors. I decided to try the green one for the fun of it. Again, this is the 3-hand analog with the date window. This is radio controlled with that Multiband 6, but also this one will connect to a Bluetooth app on your phone to keep it synchronized. So that could be very useful, especially if you live in an area of the world where the Multiband 6 stuff doesn't quite work so well. Or even, if you live in an area where it should work, but there are things around your home or your office that would interfere with Multiband 6, use the Bluetooth, and you'll be doing really well with this guy here. So a full review coming soon. All I can tell you so far is I like it. I really do. And then there's this guy here. So I do have a mechanical watch after all, with a case back so you can see all the stuff inside of it. You could call this a skeleton watch if you want to. So I do have some fun with mechanical watches, even though obviously overwhelmingly I'm into quartz and Casio. So I know I buzzed through this video very quickly without giving you a running count of how many watches I have. That's another question I get. How many watches do you have? So what I showed you was, 5 cases that each hold 24 watches. So 5 times 24, that's 120 watches. Plus I showed you a smaller case with the GW M500 watches. That was another 12, so that's 132. But remember, there was one empty space among those. So let's say that was 131 plus 132, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 140, 141, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 149 watches. Really? Can't you make it an even 150? Well, I guess I could, but that's why there's an empty space. I can tell you, there's a special occasion coming up, and my family wanted to give me that watch for a special occasion. So I'll have it soon, but I do know what the 150th watch will be, and there's a sneak peek on what it is. So yeah, a little bit familiar, a lot of fun, and I can attest that the family got a pretty good deal on that one too. So we're not breaking the bank on all this stuff. Anyway, that's my entire collection, in case you were wondering. I hope you got some ideas there. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Multiband 6 and Tough Solar and Casio in general. But, I'm open to some other ideas. But, I do have my preferences. And if you have other preferences, that's great. I hope you have some fun with your watch collection. And that's it for now. But I obviously have some more videos to make for you coming up soon. So I do hope you'll join me again soon for another episode of The Good Timekeeping Show.